Mate, the fucking confusions! What is this game?
Welcome back, Agon, to the 6th episode of Server War News Coverage. It's Cantor, and in today's episode, we have a lot to cover. There's so much happening in the world of Agon that it's almost impossible to keep up with. I'm telling you guys, if you haven't logged on yet to try out the game, you're missing out. BPG just extended free-to-play period for another week to December 3rd. So what are you guys waiting for? Log on. Okay, so what's happening right now? Since the last episode, we've had 2 sieges. Drama, betrayal, espionage, shift in alliances, victory, and defeat. For those of you guys that hesitate to come back because of the lack of politics, you're missing out. It's happening right now. History is being written at this very moment. So in today's episode, I want to change things up a bit. There's just too many sieges for me to keep up with. I'm going to start combining them together. I'm also in the process of moving, so this may be my second to last episode until I get settled down. So the sieges I'm covering today are the Siege of Ichitan, the Siege of Utu. They are the 7th and 8th siege of the war. Unfortunately, I have no footage of the Utu siege since I wasn't there. The Siege of Ichitan was a defensive siege for the ROR Alliance, and the Siege of Utu was a defensive siege for the Africa Finds Alliance. So in today's episode, the ROR Alliance is made up of Reen led by Zero, Ruby Outriders led by Grimtide, Legion led by Rygol, and LOA led by Serde. In the Africa Finds Alliance, we have Defiance led by Midar, Instinct led by Juicy, and Africa led by Squanto. So during the Ichitan siege, there was 3 major engagements, with the ROR Alliance winning all 3. The siege ended in a decisive victory for the ROR Alliance, who was able to field a fighting force of 70 to 80 people, the majority being Reen vets, versus the 40 to 50 man fighting force of the Africa Finds Alliance. The Siege of Utu also ended in an ROR victory, ROR fielding 60 versus the 20 to 25 Africa Finds. During this siege, there was a spy that gave away the movement of the Defiance forces, who might have been able to secure a victory, but you never know who you can trust. So you're probably thinking right now, in your head, there's a clear winner to this war, right? Well, that's where you're wrong. After the victory at Utu, LOA left the ROR Alliance, taking with them the newly conquered territory, and joined forces with the Gentlemen led by Toxic Left, and Red Moon Reserve led by It's the J-Man, forming a new alliance within the war. This alliance is called NASA. It stands for the Northern Alliance of Southern Annihilation. LOA stated that they're tired of the unfair treatment from the ROR Alliance. This is the same alliance that turned on the Gentlemen after they helped them at the second siege of Bloodscar. Individual members are also defecting from the ROR side, stating that they can't stand the RLR leadership. This new alliance is no friends of the ROR Alliance. Word has it a NASA fleet of warship just razed Golgat completely to the ground. Okay, so this is the statistic that we have so far. The ROR Alliance has successfully defended against 2 sieges, won 1 offensive siege, tied 1, and lost 4 offensive sieges out of 8 sieges of the war. The Africa Finds Alliance has successfully defended against 4 sieges, tied 1, lost 2 offensive sieges, and 1 defensive sieges out of 8 sieges of the war. So who's going to be able to survive the war? Who's going to be able to win the war? Log on and find out. That's all I have for you guys today. I hope you enjoy. Until next time.